tummy troubles seem to be behind him because he was back in training today. The Diarrhea and Buscopan that was being shipped out there, I can't tell you, but he's good. And I think we should just remind ourselves of what it means for Scotland fans that night at Hampden Park when they beat Denmark to qualify Wayne. I mean, it was one of the great matches with some superb goals, but the atmosphere.
Oh, it was. The goals were incredible, as obviously you see there from Scott McTominay, but I really like the fact that Scotland are going to this World Cup, and I think this shows what we spoke about Mexico before. It shows the passion from the players, from the fans, and to have them there, a team in England, it's a rivalry really, but it's not because they haven't been at the same level. But to have Scotland there at the World Cup, and the World Cup, I'm sure, from Scotland.
They have played in 12 major tournaments, never reached the knockouts, Micah. Didn't win a game, as we know, at the last couple of Euros, although they were definitely fans of the tournament, I think, in Germany. Are they better equipped this time round, though? Because Scotland fans seem to be quite optimistic about them getting out of the group.
Yeah, I think with, like you said, McTominay, McGinn, outstanding. I just feel that the whole team spirit is amazing there, coupled up with the fans also. But I think their first game is so important. It's a cup final. Yes, we're at the World Cup finals, but with Brazil and Morocco, the first game against Haiti, you must win, and you might be able to get through.
Well, it looks like a win.
Will get you through.
Will get you through. And it's in their hands in that respect. And to start the tournament with everybody fit and ready to go in this squad is a positive. You know a lot of these top Scotland players, don't you? Played against the likes of McGinn and
Scott
Robertson.
McTominay had a great first season in Serie A. He won the Scudetto with Napoli. The second year was not as good, but yeah, he's a key player in Napoli. I played with Billy Gilmour, who is unfortunately injured. McGinn, Aston Villa this year, great player, and also played against the left back, former Arsenal.
You're talking about Tierney.
Tierney, and obviously Robertson. So they have, they have a good squad, and maybe one of the best Scotland squad they had so far.
They've got players who've won big trophies in the squad now, and I think with that experience of winning trophies, that they will help the younger players in the Scotland squad, and I think they will get through the group. I think they'll be fine.
What is the equivalent? Is there an equivalent? Maybe not. In France, the Tartan Army.
Not really, Tartan Army. We've got les Irrésistibles Français. Sounds good. They are doing well. They are making noise in the stadium. The crowd grow again and again, and now there are maybe thousands of them. So hopefully we will see a lot of Frenchies in the stadiums.
They don't have bagpipes, though, and that's the important thing to know.
They don't have the skirt, but...
OK, well, England, of course, must wait a little longer to get started. They're in Group L alongside Panama, Ghana and Croatia, who they meet on Wednesday in Dallas. Kelly Summers will be with England throughout the tournament, and she joins us now from downtown Kansas City.
Welcome to Kansas City, Gabby, one of the major sporting cities in the USA, home to the Kansas City Chiefs of the NFL, the Kansas City Royals of the Baseball League. They've got women's and men's MLS teams, and they're soon to be welcoming England for the duration of their World Cup campaign when they arrive here tomorrow. Now, the first thing to say is, you said it, Kansas City, that's exactly where I am at the moment. If I've learned one thing since arriving here on Thursday, it's the fact that that's what we should be saying, because Kansas is actually a state, and Kansas City lies between the states of Kansas and Missouri, and we're actually in Missouri, and the locals are very proud of that here. And England are training around 8 miles west of centre, and they are also going to be in Missouri. So you're probably wondering, what do Thomas Tuchel and his players expect here? Well, it's a US city, but it's not one of the busier ones, so it's a little bit quieter. It is, of course, though, intensely hot. Even in the shade, it's oppressive, it's thick, it's stuffy. But that is, of course, why England have been out in Florida since the 1st of June. They've trained intensely in this heat. They played games against New Zealand, Costa Rica, and a behind the closed doors friendly against Miami on Thursday. They are used to it, they are ready. The players are having a bit of downtime. As we speak now, they're on a day off before they head back together on Friday night and head to Kansas on Saturday. For Thomas Tuchel, he may have 5 days to decide decide his starting 11 ahead of that game against Croatia on Wednesday, but there are a few selection dilemmas we think he has in defence. Who is going to start? We're hearing that Mark Gahey may miss out, so it might be John Stones and Ezri Konsa who start at centre-back. The big question, who starts? Jude Bellingham or Morgan Rogers in the number 10? And on the wings, Bukayo Saka has been nursing it. And Marcus Rashford and Anthony Gordon have both put in really impressive performances to start on the other side. Regardless, Thomas Tuchel has headaches that many other managers would wish to have. He's been outwardly buoyant about England's chances and said this camp has gone really well. This is my 4th major tournament as England reporter, and I can't remember coming into a campaign I'm feeling as positive as they are. The only downside, of course, is the fact that we have to wait 5 days for England's World Cup to get underway.
I know, it feels interminable, doesn't it? And you want them to get started, but we'll have to wait and be patient. How in France is this England squad and team viewed?
Well, England should be, for me, one of the favourites in that World Cup due to their recent records, you know, in the tournaments, two Euros Cup finals. Mm-hmm. One 2018 World Cup semi-final. So yeah, for me they are more like contenders than favorites, and I think French people think the same.
Are they a little bit scared of England? Would they be scared?
We're always scared about England, you know. It's you know, historically always a big rivalry with between France and England, but let's see if we can play against each other, and it's going to be an interesting game.
And now, of course, you played under Thomas Tuchel at Chelsea and didn't get a load of game time under him. But what did you learn about his style, and did you enjoy the experience with him?
Yeah, I can say that he played a big part in the Champions League win with Chelsea, obviously. He brought his experience, his tactic, strength. For sure the team improved tactically with him, and we've been strong in Champions League and also in Premier League. But at the end, yeah, I struggled to get some game time, and it was the time to leave. But I have a lot of respect for what he brought to the team, and I think I wish him to do well with the national team.
Did you mean that?
Yeah, I always had so much respect for my managers, either they play me or not.
Micah, there is a lot made about team over talent from Thomas Tuchel. He's talked a lot about building that culture, hasn't he? And he's left out some very talented players in Trent Alexander-Arnold and Cole Palmer, and of course Harry Maguire has been left out for Dan Burn. So do you agree with that? Is that a philosophy that you can understand?
I agree in terms who probably are not going to sulk. And I'm not saying that about the top players in terms of they'll become a problem. I'm not saying that they're expected to start. If you look at the squad that is picked, is Henderson expected to start? Probably not. Burn, Spence, Livramento, all the Tony, they're happy of being second fiddle and knowing their role within the squad. So I understand why he's done it. I don't necessarily agree with it.
Jude Bellingham said something interesting today, didn't he, about perhaps things being quite so cohesive, not as connected in Euro 2024 as perhaps they could have been, which is interesting because that seemed to have been Gareth's USP, was to have culture, wasn't it? How hard is it to keep 26 players satisfied?
Yeah, it's very difficult, and I think it just shows, because for the last 2 tournaments we've thought that everything with the England team has been really close, and all the messages coming out that everyone has been a real close group, and so maybe Thomas Tuchel has digged into that and seen that and said, you know what, I need a squad who are going to be connected and always together, whether we lose or draw. We're going to have a team here who are as one, and maybe it hasn't been that case. But yeah, I think to keep 26 players happy, it's almost impossible. So I think you're gonna get someone who's not gonna be happy during this
Didier
tournament.
Deschamps did it.
Yeah, I was gonna say Didier Deschamps
That's why
is
they won
probably
it.
one of the best for that, you know, to pick up the best group, the squad, for the squad harmony. Maybe you would have think better to pick up better players, but as you said, sometimes great players don't want to sit on a bench. We don't have all the same mentality, and it's quite tough for the manager to deal with that. So yeah, to create the good squad cohesion, group cohesion, you know, I think Tuchel is typically doing quite the same thing than Deschamps.
Okay. Well, one piece of news tonight from England's group. Ghana's Thomas Partey will not be available for their first Group L game against Panama in Toronto on Wednesday after he was denied a Canadian visa. FIFA have confirmed the former Arsenal midfielder is accused of 7 counts of rape and 1 of sexual assault relating to alleged incidents in the UK, but denies all charges. Right, we're going to get back to tonight's game now. Full coverage of host Canada's opening ceremony is available right now on iPlayer, but here's the Canada team that Jesse Marsh has selected. Maxime Crepeau starts in goal. He's one of 3 MLS players in the starting 11. Fulham's Luc de Fougerolles steps in for the injured Moise Bombito in defence. In midfield, Stefan Eustachio captains the side in the absence of starman Alphonso Davies. And up front, Tani Oloweshi is preferred to Kyle Larin to partner Jonathan David. 6 games, 6 defeats is the story of Canada's 2 previous World Cup appearances.
Somebody has thrown a cockerel onto the pitch.
They didn't score a single goal in 1986 against the Soviet Union, Hungary and France.
Dolan struggling a bit here. Got back.
4 years ago in Qatar, Canada did at least find the net, taking the lead against Croatia.
Alphonso Davies, brilliant goal. Absolutely fantastic goal by Alphonso Davies, the undisputed superstar of Canadian football.
But they went on to lose 4-1 and finish bottom of a group that also contained Belgium and Morocco.
Oh, what's the goalkeeper done there? Oh, it's a bizarre goal! An absolute gift!
Jesse Marsh.
Jesse Marsh is a familiar face over here for his time in charge of Leeds United. He was appointed 2 years ago and says this is the best squad Canada's ever had. Let's hear from him now.
Jesse, 2 massive calls today. One we knew, another one maybe a bit of a surprise. Why is Tani Oloweshi coming in for Kyle Larin?
Well, we think that Tani can stretch their back line, first of all, and we think he can press well, and we think that it's a day where we want to really try to make it difficult on Bosnia. So that will, I think, be a factor for us. And we know that also Kyle can come in off the bench and with promise a potential good way to end the game.
Luc de Fougerolles is 20 years old, but he doesn't lack experience. He played for you in Copa America and the Gold Cup. Why is today a big moment for him?
Yeah, I think it's a big moment for Luke, and you say that because he's young, but we don't treat him as a young player. We treat him as a guy who understands who we are, what we are, and how we want to play. So Luke will be ready. I'm excited for him, and you know, I think the whole team right now is really clear on what we are, who we are, what the match plan is, what Bosnia is, and now we got to go out and play.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you.
Well, of course, Jesse Marsh is familiar to lots of us from his time in the Premier League and when he managed Leeds United. Do you expect a similar style of football to that which he enjoyed there?
Yeah, I think in terms of style, it'll be 4-4-2, high press, very compact. I think defensively they've been a lot better than people give them credit for as well. But
7 clean sheets in 9.
Yeah, exactly that. So I'm excited to see what he can do and how he goes about it at this level, because obviously World Cup's a little bit different. But in terms of what he can bring, I'm excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, and I think he got hard pressed, didn't he, in a way, because I think Ted Lasso was out at the same time, and he seems to get a little bit of unnecessary ribbing, didn't he, Jesse Marsh?
Yeah, I think he did. I think because when he talks tactically about the game, he comes up with loads of different terminologies.
Bit jargony.
Yeah, and